Yo, my people, welcome back to the channel. And as you can see in the title of the video, we'll be ranking the top 10 best teams in world football. Now, next to me, I've got my world football expert, Luca, in the building. How you feeling, Luca?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on again, bro.
I had to, bro. Every time I feel like we link up, we always, create some magic.
Bro.
I feel like the chemistry on camera is great as well.
I agree. But this video here, bro, I struggled with. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably... I've done a lot of videos with people where we have to prepare things.
Yeah.
And as soon as Liban told me, we're doing a top 10 teams in the world right now, I was thinking, I'm going to struggle to name 10. Because, bro, I'll be real. For me, I don't know if the people watching, if you guys agree, top 3 is a lock. I can name you 6, even 5 that should 100% be there. 6, okay, we're stretching it. But let me tell you, from 7th to 10th, it is dead food, bro. Like, genuinely, you could make the case for anyone, and it wouldn't be strong cases. It would just be...
it's true.
It's so hard to actually name the top 10 teams in the world right now, because we're going off the whole season, right? So including European competitions, league form. But, bro, no one's been that good this year.
Yeah, you're right.
Genuinely, the level's been so poor in my opinion.
And just to let the viewers know, it is based on this season.
Yes.
So on this season specifically, who are the top best teams in
Europe?
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, he was stressing. He actually called me.
I called him,
He actually called me to say, yo, bro, I'm struggling to make my top 10. I can't lie to you. I don't know who to put in. And I'm like, bro, just go off on your feeling, on your gut feeling, how you feel, what you think. And that's why I think this video will be interesting, because I think we're going to have a lot of...
discussion.
a lot of discussion. I feel like our list will be different. I think we might have the same teams, but even the ordering might be different.
I think the ordering will be quite different, to be honest. I think there might be a few differentiations on the teams, but in general, I think we'll have like at least 8, maybe 9 of the same clubs.
Yeah, I agree. So since you're the guest, I'll let you go first. Who did you have at number 10?
Bro, I struggled here so much. Because, guys, I was playing in my head around...
Go on.
I probably have like 4 or 5 names that you could make the case for here, and I would just say, to be honest, man, I would do Slaven Bilic. To be honest, I don't care who you put 10th. Like, it's all the same, bro. But I put Liverpool. Because they're 6th in the league, I think, right now. They're not playing great this season. I think they've been super underwhelming. With the sort of window they had, I expected them to at least be pushing for the Premier League title again. But why I've put them this in the top 10 is because of their Champions League run, in my opinion. They finished 3rd in the group. I think they're the 3rd best defensive record in Europe, and I think that's really helping them, because with their league form, bro, they're behind Villa, they're behind Manchester United. Like, they've been really underwhelming in the league, but in their cup runs, they've done a little bit better. But I'm not even happy really having them there with the league form. That's the thing.
I hear you. I feel like there has to be 10 teams, though.
That's what I'm saying. So you're looking at the best of the worst now.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, of course. So it kind of makes sense. I put Chelsea.
Okay.
Again, with Chelsea, I feel like they're a team that have made improvements. If you're looking at, obviously, domestically from last season to this season, I also feel like coming off the back of last summer with the whole Club World Cup coming into this season, there was high expectation in terms of how they would perform. I don't think they're having a bad season.
No, they're not.
Because I don't think anyone expected them to go and win a league title, for example. They're still in the FA Cup. There's obviously, apart from, I know we're recording this after the PSG loss, but even in that game, I think they went toe-to-toe with PSG, and at times they could have easily taken the lead. I think that 15 minutes of capitulation, I think, doesn't really reflect, how
the whole story.
The whole story of that game. I think 5-2 kind of does
it was Jorgensen really that shot them in the foot.
But I think in terms of Chelsea, I think they definitely become a lot more competitive. I think in terms of their performances this season, they've put in some strong performances. I think sometimes in the big games is where they got question marks. I feel like
it lets them down.
Yeah, they're making improvements. I feel like they're not an easy team to beat. And I think for them to be able to still win, be in a shout for the Champions League football next season, also still in the Champions League technically, and also still in the cup. I think overall they've had a decent season. Probably not what they would want or what they're aiming for, but I think they've had a good season.
No, I get it, bro. And for my 9th position, I definitely think you don't have this team, and that is AC Milan. I think maybe a lot of people wouldn't really have Milan in the top 10, and I can understand why. But look, for me, context is quite important, like you said, about looking at it from a holistical point of view.
Yes.
Their sort of jump from last season to this season, I would argue, is one of the best jumps from any team, really, in European football. They finished 8th last year. They weren't in Europe. They bought in Allegri. And we were looking at a team that had some good individuals, but realistically, it's not really a team that even Milan fans would agree that they expected to fight for the Scudetto. And I know they're 7 points behind, which is still a big jump. But AC Milan are second in the Serie A. They've got the best defensive record in the Serie A when they don't have the best defense on paper. They've conceded only 20 goals. They've lost only 2 games in the whole Serie A season, bro. Against Cremonese, which was on the very first day, and Parma, which was like 2 weeks ago. They haven't, all their head-to-heads, they've either won. They did the double over Inter. They've either won or drawn. They haven't lost in any of their big head-to-heads. The issue with AC Milan is their inability to convert draws against the lesser teams to wins. That's why they're behind Inter, who we're going to touch upon probably later in this video. But I just think what they've done this season, what Allegri's done with this squad, deserves to be top 10. And that's kind of why I have him over Liverpool, because I think what they've done is more impressive than Liverpool. At Chelsea, etc., etc. And especially because of the budget, bro. They bought in Modric on a free. Ricci, and that's about it. Like, full Krug. Like, these are not top-level signings, and Kunku on a loan. So, yeah, I put AC Milan in there. I think they probably deserve to be mentioned. But this is what I'm saying. This is the level, bro, of the teams we're sort of talking about.
You know what's crazy? I thought about AC Milan, but I thought, because they've been impressive, like you said, in the big games. But my question to you would be, if they were in the Champions League this season, and especially in that group stage phase, where do you think they would have finished?
They wouldn't have finished high. Like, so I understand from that point of view. If we're talking, but that's the thing, bro. I'm just looking at what they've done in the league.
Domestically,
and for me, domestically, they've made I got to give big them credit. That's why. And if they were in the Champions League, bro, it would be a situation like Juventus and Napoli probably. They wouldn't have as many points in the league. They probably, I'll be honest, they wouldn't be in the round of 16. But I'm just looking from a league point of view. That's why.
No, that makes sense. For me, I put Atletico Madrid.
Okay, why?
Reason why, I think this is more recency bias. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's more recency bias. I think first half of the season, I think they were really poor. Atletico Madrid. I think before, they were very much known as a defensive team that, quite pragmatic, but also, could still win football matches. I think they lost that in that first half of the season. I think they were really poor. Both domestically and in Europe. I think also brushed them like 5-0 at the Emirates. So that's like results like that were happening. But I think since the start of the year, with the arrival of Lookman, I think he's added exactly what they've needed.
Some dynamism.
So, with the legs and pace, and now their attack just has like some sort of new lease of life.
It's more fluid, bro, for sure.
And since the start of the year, I think they've caught form. I think they've been playing much better football. You saw the performance, obviously, that first leg against
the Copa del Rey semi,
Copa del Rey. And then also in Europe, I think they're performing a lot better. Obviously, the result against Tottenham kind of helps their case as well.
Expected as well as Tottenham.
But I think they're hitting form at the right time. They're the only team left in the Copa del Rey, the big team left out of the big three. They're the only big Spanish team left in the Copa del Rey. So they are probably on course to win that if everything goes well for them there.
Yeah, they should.
And then they're still in the Champions League where they're looking like they're on course to qualify for the quarterfinals as well. So I think this second half of the year, it could tell a different story to what the first half of the year was. And for me, I just felt like they've done enough this season to at least be in my top 10.
Yeah, so if they win a Copa del Rey trophy, it'll be a successful season for them at the end
I
of
think
the day.
Domestically, though, was where it hurts them, because I think the gap between them and Barcelona and Real Madrid are so big.
It's quite big.
And I think that's from the damage that they've done
at the start. It's also hard to compete against Madrid and Barcelona with the scores.
The expectation's not always there for them to win. So
bro, speaking about Atleti, I got them 8th.
Okay,
not much difference. I agree with everything you said. I think I expect them to take a Copa del Rey home as well, and I think they have the second best defensive record in the league, which is quite expected anyway. They are very defensively compact, and they become more effective in transition, especially with Lookman, Griezmann, Alvarez, 3 top-level footballers. So, I got them in 8th. Not much difference, to be fair. Who do you have 8th?
I have Liverpool, so someone that you already mentioned before. Quite similar reasons to what you said, but I do feel like since the start of 2026, I think they've only lost 2 games in all competitions. So the Wolves game, of course, which was a shot loss, and obviously the first leg now against Galatasaray. So I think since the start of the year, I think if you're looking at all season, yes, I think they've been very much underwhelming, given the transfer window they had in the summer. Everyone thought they were going to win the league. And then obviously, but then, where they are positioned now,
I would argue, bro, if you were looking at the start of the year, wouldn't you have your team in there?
Yeah.
You do?
As in, like, would I have my team in there?
Man United. Would you have Man United top 10? I would,
but do you know what it is? I thought about this, by the way.
Yeah, because United, bro, recently.
I did think about it, but my only thing and the caveat to it was they don't play enough. They haven't played enough football matches.
So you're looking at like AC Milan situation as well.
Yeah,
it's only the league.
They're only the league, and we lost in the first round of both cups.
Yeah, Grimsby.
So we are playing the lowest amount of games possible this season, which is 40 games, literally. It's hard to put them in there. So for me, I couldn't put them in there. But Liverpool, I feel like they've caught form. They are still in competitions. they're not completely out of it against Galatasaray. They still got the home leg. So, and I'm not gonna lie, I do see them making a comeback in that game.
Yeah, I expect them to beat Gala at home as well, to be honest.
FA Cup, they're still in the run, and they're still in the chase for top 4. So I don't think it's a disastrous season. I think it's disastrous in the context that they should have been competing for the league title. Outside of that, I think they've had a decent season
Fair
so
enough.
far. Yeah.
I think we might have the same team in 7th, bro. Inter?
Yeah.
You got Inter?
Yes. Inter Milan. Yeah.
With Inter, yeah.
Yeah,
Here's where I'm at, bro. Like, obviously, I don't like Inter.
Yeah.
But they have dropped off so much since last season. And naturally so in the sense
that
that...
final, to be fair.
Yeah, naturally, bro. They've lost Inzaghi, who was a great tactician. Their players have gotten older. The recruitment in the summer wasn't brilliant, to be honest. They brought in Sucic, Henrique, I think Bonnie. Bro, just like, they're not top-level world beaters that really elevated the squad. And this season, guys, I got them in 7th. And maybe people that don't watch the Serie A as much, you think, yeah, that's about fair. Or maybe they should even be higher because they're first in the Serie A.
Yeah.
Like, I'm struggling to even say they're 7th because of how poor they've been, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you guys because this season, in the big clashes for Inter, they have won one game.
Yeah.
One game out of all the big clashes against Arsenal in the Champions League, Atleti in the Champions League, Bodo Glimt both games, AC Milan in both games in the league, Roma in both games, all Atalanta, Juventus. They've only beaten Juventus in the 4-3. And that was because of the dive of Bastoni that got Kalulu sent off. So it was 11 against 10 for over half of the game.
Yeah.
Had that not happened, they wouldn't have even won that game.
Yeah.
Like, Inter in the big matches this season have completely capitulated. They've been weak tactically.
Yeah.
They've been weak physically. They don't look like the Inter side that we saw under Inzaghi, defensively compact. They don't look that anymore.
Yeah.
They are still the best attacking team in the Serie A, but again, there's not much competition when we're looking at Italy. I know they're first, and I know they're first by 7 points. So if you're looking at it on paper, well, they're first in the league. But, bro, they'll probably win the Coppa Italia. I mean, there's a second leg against Como. They didn't win the Supercoppa. They got booted out by Bodo Glimt in the playoffs of the Champions League from finalists to this. And their head-to-head record is awful. The only reason they're first is because of the inability, as I said, for AC Milan to get over the line in the lesser games. Like, Inter have not been good this season.
Do you feel like if they win the league title, so if they go on to win the Serie A title...
I'd sack Kivu.
Yeah? You still sack him, but also...
If I was worked for Inter, if I was an Inter fan, I wouldn't be happy.
Even with the Scudetto?
No, bro. I wouldn't personally.
Wow.
Because when we were winning Juventus, even with Sarri, bro, when he won the league for us in 1920, I was not happy.
Yeah.
We lost to Lyon in the Champions League round of 16. We lost the Coppa Italia final. I was not happy with that season. And Juventus board sacked him.
Yeah.
Kivu's not
a good look for the Serie A then. If a team that's not really been competitive in all the big games, have been losing that many big games, and
they're the best team to offer.
And they're the best team to offer.
Not a good look,
I don't think it's a good look. But also, I feel like Inter is such a unfortunate state they're in right now because 2 Champions League finals, bro, over the last few years, you know. We're talking about a team that was competitive, hard to beat, to now what you're describing is essentially a team that is like very much not...
They're very beatable, bro. In any big head-to-head, guys, this season, Inter have looked so lackluster. Look at their record. I wish I had the team. Let me try find it. Right, these are Inter in the big games in 25-26. 4-3 lost to Juventus, 3-1 lost to Napoli, 1-0 lost to Milan, 2-1 lost to Atletico Madrid, 1-0 lost to Liverpool, 2-2 draw to Napoli at home, 3-1 lost to Arsenal, 3-1 lost to Bodo Glimt, 2-1 lost to Bodo Glimt, 1-0 lost to Milan, and the only game they won was the Juventus game that I said, where they had the dive that led to the red card. They've been dreadful in big games.
Yeah, I mean, I would still have them in the list just on the fact that...
No, same as me. Yeah, I got them in the list.
You know what I mean? I still have them just on the fact that, you know, they are still on course to win a Scudetto. They're still in the Coppa Italia as well.
No, that's why I got them 7th, bro. But
I think if you look at the Bodo Glimt there, that on paper, that was a shock result. In the
I don't
playoffs.
think so, bro.
But I'm not, given the context now...
Yeah, no.
It makes sense, but I'm saying on paper...
Yeah, on paper, of course,
you know, Bodo,
they should win
it, you know. So, I mean, if they were to walk away with a Scudetto and a Coppa Italia, it's not a bad season.
No, it's not. It's really not. But like the way that they've been playing, they don't deserve that.
Yeah.
The level of Italian football is low. That's why they're the best of a bad bunch, bro. Let me be real. Yeah. And the fact that I have them 7th, the fact that you have them 7th, for me, just speaks volumes of how poor teams in Europe have been this season. Like very few of these teams, bro, I think have been super dominant and enjoyable to watch. Like, I that's why I really struggle to do this list, to be honest.
You can make an argument, like, with Arsenal, they ain't really won the big games either, apart from in domestically as well. They haven't really won
But they've performed better in all competitions than Inter so far.
That's the thing, and I think...
they've won more head-to-heads, by the way.
And I think that's what you're trying to allude to. I think you're alluding to the performances. I think that if the performances aren't good, And I think the fact that Inter, like you said, the fact that Inter's still on the list, it's telling still.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
telling.
So we got them both 7th.
6th, I've got Real Madrid.
Yeah, same, bro. I got Real Madrid as well.
Yeah, so I think at this point it might start to look a bit similar then. Why did you have Real Madrid?
Well, the best defensive record in La Liga. I just think with Madrid, right? I think after the City game, I think they will turn a corner.
Yeah.
In the end of this season, they're still fighting for the title. They can still win, take away a La Liga trophy come the end of the season. But overall, Copa del Rey disappointment. I think the Super Cup disappointment. Even in the league, it's like up until that City game, guys. That City game was by far and away Madrid's best performance of the season, and it's not a close second. Before that, they were just underwhelming, and they have all the star power to be categorically number 1 team in the world, but it just doesn't. It doesn't gel.
It's not cohesive.
They don't play like a unit, a system, and that's sort of why, like, in my opinion, they got rid of Ancelotti because they needed someone to actually be a manager rather than a coach, in the sense that he needs to be able to. I think Bale said it in an interview in Sky Sports. You need a manager that just knows the players and can create an environment for them to succeed.
Yeah.
And that's something that Ancelotti was.
I think they underestimated that aspect of it.
100%.
Being able to manage egos and being able to manage personalities, especially when you got this star-studded team that you.
It was like the Galacticos.
Yeah,
it never worked.
Yeah,
PSG with Messi, Neymar, Mbappe didn't work. And it just hasn't worked for Madrid since Mbappe's come in.
Yeah.
But I still got them 6th.
Yeah.
But it kind of just... Guys, I think like even a Madrid fan the other day, I remember someone doing their top 10 and they had Madrid high, and someone, a Madrid fan was saying you could make the case that we're not even top 10.
Yeah.
So that kind of just... It says a lot about the state of football.
I also feel like Real Madrid are just not enjoyable to watch.
No,
bro.
they're not.
They're actually not enjoyable to watch. Like when I watch them, you think when you have Mbappe, Vinicius, and all these players in their team, you're thinking, wow, this is a team that I would want to turn on. They got the pull to get you to watch.
Yeah, with the players. Yeah.
But then when you actually watch it, you're like, this is dull and boring, bro. And it's right. It's giving Galactico.
Bro, it's kind of like post-nut clarity, bro. I'll be real. Watching.
I hear it.
Do you know what I mean? That's just a fact.
No, I hear it, bro. I hear it. But look. Ultimately, still in the Champions League.
They are.
Obviously, they had an impressive first leg.
And they should progress.
They should progress in that as well. They are still in the fight for the La Liga title. I mean, like you said, if they turn the corner, it still could line up to be a very good season.
100%.
And I think when you have like a star-studded team like that, that's what happens when you have quality. At any given moment in the season, they can
turn it on, man. It's true, bro.
They can turn it on,
it's true.
Bro. So yeah, I mean, 6 is fair. I feel like number 5 would you have?
I've gone Manchester City.
You got Manchester City? Okay. I went with PSG, but...
Really?
Yeah, but tell me why you went with Man City.
I've gone Man City just because I think City have done quite well to even be considered in a title race with Arsenal.
Yeah.
To be honest, because I think the City team has been depleted for the last 2 seasons where they've really fallen off. They physically look a lot more tired. They've lost a lot of star power in the final third, the likes of Mahrez, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne especially, who was sort of platforming the players around them to an even higher level. But realistically, bro, for me, there's been 2 continuities with City, 2 major continuities, because players like Nunez and O'Reilly, they've done well this season as well. And there's been moments from Semenyo since coming in, etc., etc. But the 2 constants have been Haaland up top, not really this year, because he's only scored 4 goals, 2 of which were pens, and Donnarumma in goal. Yeah. These 2 are the only reason, or the main reason,
for sure,
why they're even they've been considered in this title race with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Bailing them out with big saves, big goals, big saves, big goals. In Europe, of course, they lost badly against Madrid. They lost badly.
Against Bodo as well.
Yeah, against Bodo they lost. But like Pep looked so outclassed in that game by Arbeloa. It was like it was weird to see.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a Pep team. I mean, he's trying different things. He's playing Rodgers as a sole midfielder. He can't do that post ACL. He just physically isn't capable of doing so. They don't look like a City team.
Yeah.
They don't look like a City team.
Something looks a little bit off with them.
It looks very off. So like I would still say they're a top 5 team in the world. You could argue they're 4th, 3rd. You could make the case. Yeah. I don't think they're top 3, but maybe 4th. I could hear. But I just look at them and I think just they're not as good as people are making them out to be. They're very beatable, City.
Yeah.
Very beatable.
I'm going to say why.
Why'd you have PSG
I have PSG 5th just because I think they've had quite a disappointing season, but I do feel like they've been injury struck for quite some time. I think a lot of their big stars have been in and out of the team. I think that's probably played a big part as to why, they were trailing in the league for so long, why their performances haven't been as strong in the Champions League. I mean, I feel like Monaco, So I felt like Monaco could have easily gone through in that playoffs had they not self-destructing in both legs against PSG. So, I mean, the credit to them is that when they have a full set, like when everyone's fully fit,
that's true.
They are one of the best teams in the world. You can even argue that they're number one when they're all fully fit and playing. And you kind of saw that yesterday with, against Chelsea the other day, where when they have quality and when everyone's fit and playing, you got Cavara coming off the bench and scores a worldie like that. That's what you have. That's what the quality can get you. And I feel like once they get everything ticking, they can easily win the Champions League this season. I mean, they're now first in the league, which isn't, again, it's still a bit of a knock to them because they shouldn't. Let's be honest, the French league is a bit of a farmers league.
Yeah, they should win it.
There's a big disparity between PSG and the rest of the league.
I think Lens is second. To be fair, Lens have had a really good season.
They've had a good season as well, but the fact that now PSG have managed to climb back on top, they could still walk away with a league title and a Champions League. So for me, that's the kind of reason why I had them in there. And I do think on paper, when everyone's fit, I do think they have the best team.
Yeah, no.
I genuinely do think they have the best team.
Like, I think they're still... I think people have sort of written them off too much in the UCL. I think the season when people are doing their predictions, I see people not really considering them. And I think that's quite disingenuous for what they achieved last year and the quality and the star power that they have. And like you said, Liban, when they're all fully fit, this is a dangerous PSG team.
Dangerous, bro.
Like, I got them further up. I'll touch upon them when I get to them. In fourth, I think we might have the same team here, Barca.
I have Man City in fourth.
Oh, you have Man City?
Yeah, I had Man City in fourth. I mean, Man City, kind of what you were saying. Reason why I have them so high up, though, is because they are still on course, technically, for quadruple. I know they lost against Real Madrid was there, but the fact that we've said all these problems, they've had all of these issues.
No, but they're still in for everything,
They're still in for everything. Obviously, they are very unlikely to go through in the Champions League now, unless they do a remontada.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard to knock them and say that they're not at least a top 4, top 5 team, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, they had to make it there. They still score a lot of goals. They still create a lot of chances. Yes, they lead goals, but they're still entertaining to watch. And it's on the day, can beat any team. So that's why I kind of had them there. But who did you have in fourth?
Barcelona, bro. Okay. Best defensive team in La Liga. Offensive, 72 goals. Just, their attack is star-studded. They're a beautiful team to watch. I believe they won the Super Cup as well earlier on in the season.
Yeah.
They did lose to Atleti in the Copa del Rey, but they got a pretty favourable run in Europe. I do expect them to go to at least the semi-finals, to be honest. But, bro, I sort of put Barca here because I love watching Barcelona.
Yes.
Like, this is also coming down to, for me, guys, like preference. And Barcelona are very effective in the final third. They are top of La Liga as well. We can't forget that. But watching the likes of Pedri, Yamal, I turn on the TV to watch those kind of players. I turn on the TV to watch these teams. And I think football lacks that sort of dynamism, that beauty to it nowadays. It's a bit too robotic. So that's why I have Barca over City. Like, if you put City over it, I don't really hate it too much. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, we can formulate these arguments where people will be like, yeah, but Barcelona should be over City because City lost to Real Madrid and Barcelona beat Real Madrid. But then we both have Inter in there and Bodo Glimt beat Inter. So we can't. I don't want to use those kind of arguments. It's kind of pointless.
Would you say that Barcelona are probably the most entertaining team in world football right now? Club football.
I think top 3. I think maybe there's another team that I'd rather watch who are up there higher than Barca. But like in terms of individuals, like watching Pedri and Yamal, I'd rather watch those two guys than a lot of other footballers in the world.
Yeah.
And as I said, guys, they've already won a Super Cup. They're first in La Liga. They should. I don't know. Real Madrid could turn it around, but they should win La Liga. I think they'll go deep in Europe. They definitely deserve to be this high for me. So yeah, I got Barca fourth.
Okay, fair enough.
You got them. I'm guessing third.
I had them in third.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you pretty much said it. I mean, the only thing that kind of knocks them down is they're defensively they're a bit weak. I think since they lost Inigo Martinez last summer, they've been every game you feel like they can, as much as they can score, you also feel like they can concede
a lot. Yeah.
So they are inconsistent in that aspect. But when you got superstars like you said, like Yamal, generational talents like Petri, you know, they can always, you know, produce a moment of magic, and they're the type of players that you spend money to go and watch. You know, those are the type of players that get you off your feet. So when you have that in your team, it's not a surprise that, you know, they got the most goals, most chances in attack this season.
So a lot.
Yeah.
So you got them third. I got PSG third. I still think PSG are a top 3 team in the world. At the start of the video when I said my top 3 was quite locked in, like that, those were the 3 that came straight to mind. Yeah, those are the locks. I think PSG is still a super athletic team, a hyper fluid team. And if you look at their spine, they're just so strong. Yeah. And I think that's what differentiates like a Chelsea to a PSG, the athleticism, the pace, the technical quality that some of these top European teams have. that the Premier League teams don't. And I think why we saw the Prem teams struggle in the first sort of round of 16 is because the Prem teams are like, very reliant on the physicality. Also, I think set pieces have been a super prevalent thing in the Premier League this season. And if you notice, I don't know if you watched like the highlights and some of the games, Liban, but the referee, they were very strict and stern on the set pieces.
I've heard the officiating in Europe is a lot more strict in terms of what you can and can't get away with on set pieces as well.
When the English teams are struggling in that aspect, they struggle to flip it to the and rely on the technical quality of the players because a lot of these teams don't have that. And when you do go up against a Barcelona or PSG, those guys will out-edge you in those senses. So I think with the star power that PSG have, they're going to win the league.
Do you think that's the reason why? Do you think a lot of teams so you think that's the officiating and the difference in officiating in Europe and in the Premier League is probably, not saying it's the main reason, but played a part in terms of why English teams have struggled in this round?
I think it plays a part in why they're struggling because it highlights their weaknesses. Not because they can't score from corners or throw-ins. I think the inability to sort of utilize that to the maximum set pieces, it kind of showcases the lack of technical quality that a lot of these teams have, if that kind of makes sense. No, I'm not saying, because the refs are strict on corners, that's why Arsenal or these teams aren't getting over the line. No, I think it just, the strictness and the firmness on that kind of highlights the lack of quality and the technical ability that the other players have to be able to bail these teams out of trouble.
Their lack of individual quality.
And that's something that PSG don't struggle with. Barcelona don't struggle with. Another team that we'll talk about in a sec don't struggle with.
I feel there's also a lot of these teams that you mentioned, like Barcelona, PSG, and probably another team we're probably going to mention at some point, but I'll probably say it anyway, Bayern. They're teams that have real
talent,
wing play and also wing play, but I feel like wing play is something that's dying in the Premier League. Like right now, I did a video with Lias the other day and we was talking about, obviously we did Premier 11 versus World 11, and then he's mentioning the winger options that he has
in the Prem or in Europe. They're way better.
And then you look at the Prem option, like the winger options I have for the Prem, bro, there's this huge gap, bro.
Big gap.
You look at Bayern, PSG, Barcelona, their wingers cause damage.
But even in the Serie A, there's some good wingers in the Serie A. Like, it's like they're too robotic in the Premier League. They're too one-minded in the sense that, they're just like, bro, they're like a 2D shape.
Yeah.
They're just flat, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not, there's nothing really else to their game. And I think, like you said, bro, like,
it feels robotic as well.
It feels robotic. You don't really want to watch them, but when you have assets like top-level wingers or top-level 10s, elite-level playmakers and goal scorers that can bail you out of trouble, even if you're playing badly, if you know that those guys are in your team and they have these moments of individual brilliance, you're less reliant on momentum, the physicality of the game, how it's going, because you know that these guys can just bail you out. Something that these top European clubs have that maybe the top Premier League clubs don't have to the same extent.
And I agree.
And like the Premier League, top to bottom, bro, is the best league in the world. But the best of the best, I still don't think they're really in the Prem.
And then it's interesting because now I want to know what your top two is, because based on literally what you just said, it's going to be interesting to see.
I struggled with this, I'm not going to lie, bro, because Arsenal did beat Bayern. And I thought they beat them fairly comfortably. And I look at Arsenal, I think they're the blueprint in the sense that they have the best defense in the world, hands down. But Bayern have the best attack in the world. Like, look at Bayern Munich's options in attack, bro. Elise, you got Kane, you got Jackson off the bench, you got Musiala, you got Leonard Carl, you got Luis Diaz. Come on, bro. These are like top level, apart from Jackson, but like, and Carl, he's obviously promising.
He's been doing his thing.
I wouldn't say he's top level, but like,
he's doing his thing.
These are like, this is an elite attack, elite options, right? And they can kill you in so many different manners. I watched them against Atalanta, bro, and I've never felt so hopeless for a team this season. Like, I was watching Atalanta, I was thinking, these guys are in for a problem, bro. Like, Bayern destroyed them, they dismantled them, and because it's so fluid. It's so fluid. I think Bayern Munich's defense is weaker than Arsenal's, but their attack is far superior to Arsenal's, if that makes sense. Like, bro, we've seen them play already. We could potentially see them in the final of the Champions League, and I think these are the two best teams in Europe going head-to-head. Maybe we'll edge Arsenal first because I think they've had a better season. They're in a more competitive league. It's a bit tougher. I almost expect Bayern to wipe every single. I expect them to win the Pokal, the what is it, DFK Pokal, the FA Cup,
the German Cup,
the German Cup, the DFB Pokal, whatever it's called, bro. I don't know the name. The Bundesliga.
I say the German Cup, man.
Something Pokal, like Pokal. I don't know, bro.
Pronounce that. Yeah,
Pokal, that's the one. Pokal, yeah.
Poker.
I expect them to win all of that.
The Poker Cup.
But Arsenal...
The Poker Cup.
The fact of the matter is Arsenal are on for a quadruple, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they should win the Prem. I think they should win at least one of the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. And Europe, they got a very good chance of winning the Champions League as well. So I'd probably say Arsenal 1, Bayern 2nd, but I'd rather watch Bayern Munich play.
100%. I'd rather, if I had to spend my money on either Arsenal or Bayern Munich, 100% I'm spending my money on Bayern Munich. I wouldn't even bother. I'd rather fly to Munich. I live in London. I could watch them here.
It would cost you more money.
I'd rather fly to Munich to go watch them, just because I think Ab's described them best. They're the unwatchables. Let's be honest with you. But having said that, you can't knock. We're talking about who has been the best team this season.
Exactly.
In world football, in Europe, and it's them by far. You mean you're first in the Premier League. See, they're getting claps at the
Shameless, bro.
Shameless. First in Europe as well.
They did.
And they won every single game.
And they beat Bayern as well.
Pretty much every single game. Didn't lose a game.
Yeah.
Beat Bayern in that process as well. So it's very hard not to put them first. And they were pretty much in every competition as well. I think you can't really knock them. They've already lost 3 matches all season across all competitions. So their records, I mean, it's there. But it goes back to that conversation you were saying earlier where you were like, you know, a lot of the Prem teams and English teams are relying on physicality to sort of get them through games, and especially on the set pieces, whereas some other European teams, they're relying more on the individual brilliance and moments of magic to get them out. So I think it'll be interesting. I think if Bayern and Arsenal were to meet again, I don't think it would be like the first game.
No, they won't. I mean, look at PSG. When they met Arsenal the first time last season, Arsenal brushed them pretty comfortably, and then when it came to the semi-finals they played
across 2 games.
It changed, and I think Bayern, that would be a great final. I think European heritage would play to it as well. I don't think it would be as simple. It wouldn't just be black and white.
Or be in a neutral ground as well.
Yeah, so. it'd be very complicated. But yeah, I think guys, like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I struggled with this top 10. So I just think the level of football right now, it's not that high. There's really not much difference between those teams that are just in the top 10. So if you do have other opinions, like you had Chelsea in there,
let us know, man.
Someone might even say Bodo Glimt. Yeah, let us know in the comment section and your reasoning. Bro, literally, like, there's a few that you could argue here. Lens have been strong this season. Like, it's just...
Manchester United as well.
Man United... No, but in all fairness, it showcases the level.
We got a shout.
So I think you're just picking up thin hairs, really, to enter in that top 10. It's not a massive... I think the massive jump kind of goes from, like, 6th, 7th to, like, top 5.
Yeah.
If that kind of makes sense. But, yeah, guys, that was our list, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you for jumping on.
Having me, bro.
Make sure to check out Luca's channel as well. Obviously, he's got some good football content on there as well.
You,
and also, let us know in the comments whether you agree or disagree with our list, and anyone that you think we should have added, any team that you feel like we should have added. Also, make sure to let me know in the comments as well. But until next time, peace.